You can change, you can make change, and it starts with gratitude. No matter where you are, do you have a sense of gratitude? And that's really where it started for me, because I found that gratitude is the antibiotic to any mind virus or organizational virus that I've ever encountered.
Hello and welcome. This is Brian Delaney with Unlock Potential, where we get together with top experts in their field who have simple, profound advice to help you and I live better lives, to be able to be more fit to serve the people around us and answer that question, the question that nags within all of us: how good can I be and how great can I make it for people around me?
All right, welcome back to Unlock Potential, the after show here. We're going to take a few minutes to break down my conversation with Brandon Ellison, some of the highlights, some more insight, and just more takeaways for you so that you can go out, apply these things in your life, and change and grow.
I guess it was probably 30 years ago. They started in psychology. They started researching and looking into things a completely different way than they always have. You know, psychology has been studied for, 200-300 years, maybe more than that. But it had always been, we're going to study what's wrong with the people that are struggling. And we're going to try to come up with ways to help them. And what positive psychology really did is they looked at it from a different way and said, we want to study the people that are doing really well. And what are the characteristics that people that are succeeding and have happiness and contentment in their lives, what do those people do? Mm-hmm. And when you surround yourselves with salespeople like we were, I knew that it could have the impact on so many other people that it had on me. And the overall theme to that was that in the past, we thought that we were born with a certain level of optimism or happiness, or whatever the things are that you're wanting to kind of dig into. And they found through their research that none of that was true. You certainly are born with a level of these things, but the brain is malleable and you can change them with effort. And if you put a focus on, maybe it's journaling or exercising or associating with the right people, there's so many things that you can do that actually give you the power to grow that side of you.
Starting off the conversation with Brandon around the importance and the power of positive psychology. That's something I definitely have grown in with him over the years, something that he's a set of tools that he's really given me. And a lot of times where people get confused or where they will write that off is just thinking that it is optimism or delusional optimism or glass half full type of thinking. And I think the way that he broke that down was absolutely perfect. Positive psychology is just this idea that I can affect change on myself, other people, and the environments that I exist in. Using that simple definition, and that I can have a positive impact to create positive changes in all of those. And that definition is just so strong and it's so robust. It actually has a lot of teeth to it, because most people are in this place of, this thing is happening to me. We regularly refer to that as a victim mindset, or not a growth mindset, but just a capped mindset, fixed mindset rather. And what positive psychology gives us is the ability to see things accurately for what they are, and to be able to affect change in the thing that we're seeing, in what we're experiencing. And so how do we grab onto our own personal sovereignty, autonomy, and power in those moments? And that is through the tools, these simple tools that Sean Acor breaks down in books like The Happiness Advantage. There's all kinds of books that have followed, written by people who have studied the subject intensely, but it always comes back around to the same things. It's, do you have a sense of gratitude? Step one. No matter where you are, do you have a sense of gratitude? And that's really where it started for me, because I found that gratitude is the antibiotic to any mind virus or organizational virus that I've ever encountered. Whether that was within me, within relationships, if I could start there, can I get grateful for where we are? Can I get grateful for for who I am and what I have? Can I start with a ground level gratitude? And if I can't start there, it's going to be hard to think that I can actually affect change on anything around me as a secondary action. And so I just encourage people to dig into positive psychology, understand that this is a psychology of positively affecting, of being able to change your mindset, of being able to grow into someone who has more impact and invite other people into that place of knowing that, hey, you can affect how you live. You can affect how your relationships go. And even though you may not be able to directly affect the things that happen to you, your circumstances, experiences, whatever it is, you can always affect the response to those and influence the outcomes. And that's a gift that he has given to me. I've been able to give to other people, and I want to give to you just simply to say, you can change, you can make change, and it starts with gratitude. It starts with gratitude. So definitely check out Sean Acor's book. Can't recommend it highly enough. And just listening to the resources and getting around people as well. I think because we got to film this episode with Brandon today, it's just such a solid reminder for me of the time I spend around other people who have that positive psychology. Because when we're in difficult situations, when we're in heavy situations, when we've got stuff to do, when there's drama, it doesn't matter because we can affect change in it. If we were just left to deal with it, the relationship may be harder, but the relationship is better because we can move to the solution side of this, not chase current circumstances out in the traffic. Like Brandon said, don't chase the 20 out in the traffic, right? Don't chase that temporary feeling into a permanent end, right? Be able to step back from that situation, say, is it worth it? Is it worth the relationship for me to go with my feelings right now? Or can I subjugate my feelings? Can I hold my feelings subject to my values that I have in this situation? Because I've got a greater perspective than just this moment. And that greater perspective than just this moment starts with gratitude. So if you want to start to change your life and affect change in your life right now, what you have to do, the same thing we all have to do, is make a list of gratitudes that is 5 if you've never made one, 10 if you've made one before, 20. Challenge yourself to scratch your head and say, well, what else can I be grateful for? What else can I be grateful for? Because just that question is going to affect your awareness, and you getting in a pattern of asking that question is going to do the same thing for that it's done for me, which is to start looking at the world, to start looking at other people, to start looking inside and saying, what else can I be grateful for?
Hey, this is Brian Delaney with Unlock Potential. We've recently released our new Patreon that provides exclusive content to our members in order to help you get to the next level in your life. Let's grow.
Because I need to know if I'm working with someone that will take ownership, even if you haven't before, or someone that's going to kind of play the victim card. And there's nothing more annoying or frustrating to me, or nothing that I think is more damaging to someone's ability to move forward in a positive way than that victim mentality. And gosh, I mean, we see that so often in the business that we're in.
Oh yeah.
But I'm so grateful every day that I landed in a business where if things happen, they generally happen because I allowed them to happen. And you can't say that with other businesses. I mean, listen, there were some people in 2005 and 6 and 7 that were killing it in the mortgage business. And then something outside of their control happened with the economy and everything that happens is they find themselves, and we've got people in our organization that were very successful during those days and had to kind of restart. So that'll teach you some grit and really resilience. I mean, you get to a level where you're earning, a really high 6-figure income, and in a matter of a month or two, that goes away.
Yep.
What a victim would say, they would never rebound from that.
Yep.
And so while there may be things that happen that cause the circumstances maybe that I'm going through, how I'm responding to that and where I'm going from there is what is going to determine whether or not I own it, or if I'm allowing it to happen to me and I can't overcome it.
One of the most important topics to me. And it's a challenging topic, as it should be to anybody, in my opinion, is he talks a lot about responsibility. And when it comes to deciding who you're going to lead, like as a leader, if you're going to decide to be a leader, you're the one who's deciding to be responsible, not responsible to make all the good decisions, but responsible to deal with the outcomes of the decisions that you make, right? That's what real leadership is. And I think when it comes down to responsibility, it's also the leader's job to be able to see who's being responsible, because the people who are taking more responsibility will be more effective 100%. The people who don't take that responsibility are just going to have constant problems, because they don't know that where the problems come from. They don't know problems are typically an issue of perception, because not the problem itself, but your response to it and how you cultivate those issues that come up. And I think this idea of responsibility often gets people put it together with fault. Okay, there are things in my life that have happened to me that are not my fault. Like, the wrong things happened. The wrong things happened. People did the wrong things to me. I have done things to other people that aren't their fault. Right? I've hurt people. We do this in the midst of relationship. That's what, in real relationship, things hurt and then we heal, and we heal better over time. Just like in real life, we get hurt and we heal better. But it's those people who take responsibility, even in the midst of it not being their fault. Those are the people I'm always looking for. Because if you can find those people who are taking the actual responsibility, not just saying, oh, it was all my fault, I shouldn't have ever done that. Like, they pour it so on themselves that it no longer becomes effective. It's not even fun to blame them for things anymore, because they're like, oh, I'm the worst person ever, right? It's all ego one way or another. But I'm always looking out for people who are taking responsibility, because those are the people who can be truly present in that moment and intuitively and dynamically respond to other people and their circumstances. And that's where power comes from. That's where growth comes from. That's where getting results comes from. That's where truly loving and helping people and serving people comes from. It comes from a place of power, not from a place of powerlessness. Thanks again for joining us for this conversation. Head right over to our Patreon for exclusive content, including more from our conversation today.
Thank you all for joining our conversations. We're developing this platform for simple, profound tools and techniques that can help you get the best out of your life and, more importantly, unlock potential. You can find me across all social platforms at The Brian Delaney, and online, come visit us at thebriandelaney.com.